What's up, guys? Today we're working on a 2015 Toyota Highlander. You can see these rotors are pretty beat up, so we're just going to change these pads and rotors real quick. So what I'm using is a 14 mil socket, a 17 mil socket. I like to have one of these wrenches around. It fits on the caliper slide pin bolt if it spins with the nut, with the bolt. That comes in handy. A 17 wrench. Oh, that's supposed to be a 14, not a 15. 14 wrench. Let's fix that. All right, we took care of that. 14 wrench. I'm a little spoiled. I got some ratchets and a little electric gun. But and don't forget your coffee. But yeah, let's get it done. We're gonna go ahead and just break this caliper bolt in. Been here before, so they're a little loose. Oh, wrong way. I'll grab something to hang these calipers from. I like using these little, I guess you call these, you get these when you order exhausts, or sometimes they come with struts and keep them compressed down. They come in handy. Slide that down. I'll compress those later. Now let's just get these out the way. Keep these pip clips, very important. They keep your pads from sticking to the rotor. They kind of like a spring, I guess we can call them. Sometimes Jordan slaughter rotors are not the best choices, because they fill up with dust and grime. Day-to-day use. Just make sure your slides are loose. These got to be cleaned up pretty good. Now we're going to go to the caliper bolt, caliper slide bolt, bracket bolts. It's a 17. He's going to be on there a little tighter. That's all. Sorry for the noise. Got the bracket off. See all the grime in there? We're gonna want to clean all that grime out, clean it up nice. Grab your two 17 millimeter bolts. Place those next to the other ones. And we're gonna simply, I'm lucky, these rotors are coming right off. Sometimes you gotta bang them off in the face, but look at those rotors, all beat up. Those do. Alright guys, so obviously one of the first things you should do is make sure your stuff matches everything. I kind of did that earlier, so I didn't, but I'm just going over it with you guys really quickly. So this is nice, comes with clips and the new springs I told you to hold on last time. The dealer doesn't even give you these, so that's a plus. Brand new pads with grease, and then we got our rotors in here. I'm gonna just make sure those are the same, and then we'll get back to putting them together. Some of you may ask, how do we check to make sure the rotors are correct, right? So you just take the old one, put it right on top of the new one. Make sure the diameter is cool. You can also, if you don't feel confident about the lug nuts, flip it over, face to face. Oh, those look like they line up nice. Rotors right thickness though. we can move forward. Also, we're gonna clean that bracket up I showed you earlier and change these clips around. I'll show you how to pop those off in a second. So what I like to do, obviously, I got this little cement bucket mixer from, I don't know, Home Depot's, Lowe's, maybe Harbor Freight. Couple bucks. It's awesome when you're working in the driveway, so you don't stain the driveway, get it all nasty. It catches everything, and then you just dump it out later. I put the rags in there so it absorbs the moisture. But we're gonna just spray. Move my coffee. We're just gonna spray this with some brake clean. Clean it up real quick, you know. Ruin my light. No worries. Got a couple of Some people go ahead and brush and wire the faces. I'm not gonna go that far today. We're gonna move over to the bracket and clean all this. We're gonna change these clips since they came new. That's a plus. We're gonna clean these caliper pin slides up and grease them. And we're gonna try to sand these little grooves where these clips sit as clean as we can. Get as much rust as we can off. I have a die grinder, so I'm gonna get in there good. You might not, but a wire brush does wonders. So get yourself a nice little wire brush. I'm gonna show you what they look like after I'm done. All right, I'm gonna show you something. So I took those clips off. That's the side I cleaned up. This is the side I still need to clean up. You see the rust in there? So that's all you want to do. Just get it to look like this. I didn't even hook up my compressor today. I just took my drill and the wire wheel. That's it. I'm going to continue to clean these calipers up. I'm going to take the slide out. You can see it's pretty nasty. I'm just going to take a rag, wipe that down. I got this grease here, brake caliper grease by the bucket. I use a lot of it. I'm just going to put some of that right on here, spread it around. We want these lubed up because if these seize up, you're going to have brake issues. Do the same on this side. Sometimes they have these little rubber pieces on them. They get stuck, they break. Yeah, you should have them in there, but if you can't get it, don't panic. I'm lucky mine stayed on there. Don't over grease that rubber thing either. They swell up, and it just makes it harder for this caliper, this pin to work. So I grease it up, but I try not to put too much on the rubber spot. It's enough. Dabby dabby. Put that right back in. See that? Now it's giving me a little trouble. You have to get rid of that little rubber piece. Unfortunately, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. Unfortunately, I gotta take mine off. Thought it was good. Now we'll just hit it with some grease. I know this is boring, guys, but these are little steps that you want to take. Make sure you know your brake job comes out good. It's not hard, and trust me, save yourself a couple $100 from going to the dealer. It's not necessary. If you have tools, a jack, some stands, a little bit of time. So, I think I'm into this brake job for $150. I ain't complaining. I've done the dealer for years. I used to work working at the dealers. Anyways, you just want to put a little bit of grease on here. Now the biggest thing I will tell you, obviously you're getting grease everywhere. But when you put the clips on, when I show you when I put the clips on, all you're gonna do is take a rag and wipe the inside here. You don't want any grease to get on your pads or your rotors. It'll just cause premature noise and wear. It'll gump up the pads, make your rotors look ugly. You just don't want that after you just spent this time. So just remember that. A lot of people tell you that grease that doesn't matter, but the way I look at it, my professional opinion after all these years, you get grease on your pad, it's not gonna, the friction pad's not gonna work as good as it's supposed to. I think that's just common sense, but sometimes sense ain't too common. But if you don't know, you don't know, you know? All right, let's move on to the clips. So another important thing, these clips have a little tang sticking out. It's kind of a spring. You want to make sure that's always facing the outside of the caliper bracket, not in towards the pad, the rotor itself, away from the rotor. For example, this one is going to go right here. See what I'm saying? Outside, outside, inside, flat. Okay? And I'm just going to show you on one of these clips how to wipe down and clean, and then I'm going to do it quick so we can finish up this job. Boom. Right? Remember what I told you. You got grease in there. You don't want that on your rotors. You don't want that on your pads. So we're going to just take this rag here. Boom. Make sure that's clean. And then when you put it on the car, you just turn the rotor a little bit and wipe it again. Wipe the rotor, just make sure there's nothing on there. That's it. Not a big step, but important. Little important step that could, you know, cause noise later on. You don't want that. All right, so I greased up everything, nice and greased up, cleaned up the insides like I told you. Can't stress that enough. The inside of this, cleaned it up, wiped it, and this goes here. Obviously the rotor's not on yet, but you can see how it sits again. Throw the rotor on. I like to spray the oil off the rotors that come from the packaging. Just like I said before, you don't want nothing on your rotors. You want them nice and grease free. Nice. Got a clean rag, a little bit of brake clean. Another wipe. I just like to keep my rotors as clean as possible. Obviously we can't spin this out right now. I only jacked up one wheel. That's fine. Nice little trick to keep this rotor from moving while you're putting everything together. A little wrench, lug nut, boom, holds it nice. Next, caliper bracket. 17mm bolt. Mil. I like to tighten it with these, and then I hit it with the ratchet. Make sure it's good. Okay. Ratchet. That boy's on there. This is my torque wrench right here. Click, 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 click. Okay. Don't overdo it. Just make sure it's tight. Okay. My clean rag. So we're taking my clean rag one more time because, like I said, I'm crazy. Make sure there's no grease on it. No grease. Looks good to me. Okay. Next, pads. Make sure they're clean, nice and clean. Don't forget your little squeak pads. Okay. Okay. So these little clips, I put them at the top this time. I've put them both ways. I'm sure someone's going to correct me. Please do. I just haven't had an issue putting them either way. I'm sure every car, the manufacturer is different. So make sure that the whole clip goes into the whole pad. Maybe start from the top. Come on, baby. Perfect. Remember, these wire clips are up. Actually, before we do that, I almost forgot. You gotta compress that caliper back. This is how I do it. I've seen people, obviously they have special tools for this, but one of these, big bad boys, I like to use these. And yeah, someone's gonna say, aren't you afraid of poking a hole in the caliper? I've been doing this for 20 plus years, haven't broke one yet. You obviously gotta use a little bit of common sense and not put a lot of pressure on it, little by little. I'll show you how that's done. Boom. Open this up a little bit. Take your old pad, put it on there, and now take your clamp, loosen it, you know, so you get enough to be able to squeeze it. Not overkill, little by little. See that? It's compressing. Now, if you got to squeeze this to the point that it might put a hole in the back of the caliper, you have other issues. You need a caliper, and there's no way around that. These Toyota calipers are known. I mean, don't get me wrong, put a lot of miles on these, but they also, after a certain mileage, you gotta understand a lot of heating, cooling, in and out, rust, dirt, grime. It's gonna hit your caliper. Sometimes people don't understand, why do I gotta do calipers? It's so expensive. Just one of those things that happens sometimes. So you can see, I compressed it all the way in, did no damage. One little thing I also like to do before I slap this on there, a little grease. I'm a big believer in, if it's gonna be metal to metal contact, put a little grease on it. Just a little bit. Makes it all smoother. Over there, over there. Now this is gonna be the fun part. All right. These little clips here, important. Like I said before, save the old ones, but I wasn't aware that they were coming with new ones. They usually don't. Okay, you see that V? you're gonna put the bottom. Let's put the bottom in first. It's just easier. One hole there. Squeeze a little bit. Boom. See that? Keeps the pad from sticking. There's two of these on, one on the top, one on the bottom. And the V should be facing each other to the middle of the pad. Come on, where are you? There you go. Okay. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the caliper, put the top half on it. Oh, the top half on. And use that to hold it. And slide it into place. Boom. Get your 14mm bolts. Ratchet. You saw how that spun a little bit there? Make sure these are tight. These don't gotta be as tight as the caliper bracket. Get the air out of that one. See that top one's spinning a little bit. So what we're gonna do is that little wrench I told you about. I'm gonna put that here, caliper slide. And we're just gonna give it a little crank. All right, that's tight. All right. And look, we just completed a brake job. That was one side, obviously. The other side is the same. Look at that. Fresh. You don't have to go to the dealer and get charged, you know, $500-600. This was $150 in about an hour of my time, and that's included, you know, showing you guys a little bit. It can be done. It's not hard. Not hard. Now, at a time like this, these times right now, everyone needs to save a buck if they can. But look at that, brand new. Okay, the other side is exactly the same. If there's any questions or comments, please leave them below, and subscribe if you like this content here. I got a lot more going on. I got trucks, I got toys. I'd like to put stuff up if I can. Let me know if you like it. Thank you. And like I said, this was a 2015 Toyota Highlander, front brake pads and rotors. All right, guys, I'm gonna go do the other side. Enjoy the rest of your day.